go to this. Yeah, is it coming visible, Gauri?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If it is visible, no? Okay.
Yes.
So all of you know the topic which is in front of us is this e-content development. So here, see, we are at present living in the age of information and communication technology, where everything is now in the digital form. Earlier, we have to digitize the format. So nowadays we are calling the term which is already digitized as born digital. So born digital concept is very much nowadays used, and everything in the digital form. If you compare this digital technology with the technology when we are using the manual typewriter, or then after that it was electronic typewriter, then came the computer printing, etc. So there's a vast difference. So in short form, if I say from brick to click, there is a term called brick to click. Brick means all of you may be knowing, if you go historical information related to the clay tablet, etc. Writing on the stones, writing on the wall, writing on the seashore, or on the sand. So those were seashore, sand, etc. were the perishable material. But later on, when this clay tablet came, then this so-called manuscript, beech bark, etc. came, palm leaf, etc. came. Then we are having the written document, etc. in this area. So we are having, we are not new in e-content creation or development. It is a very old tradition. As you can say that it is as old as the human tradition learned how to read and write. Since then, this e-content type of things are coming up, and we are using it in this way or other way. Only difference is that traditional system was different, and we are talking about electronic and digital system. This is the major difference we are getting it. And it has, this electronic and digital system has made it easier for everybody for the quick publication and quick reading as well. Earlier, see, if you take the example of that wood block printing, then came the metal printing. So wood, the block were cut into reverse direction, and then it was printed, and different shape and size was there. So if you take out the paper of 50 years back, newspaper of 50 years back, you will find that same type of alphabets were used. There's few selected alphabets were used in bigger size of the font, etc. So why? Because those were done manually. Then came, after this wood block printing, then came the metal block printing, etc. So metal were also cut into reverse direction with different shape and size, and no maximum use was not there. Only limited shape and size were there. So that's why you might have noticed that even 30 years back, 40 years back, 30 years back, or 25 years back, before the newspaper started printing with the new technology, that is digital devices like that. Prior to that, when it was in block printing, etc. So in that case, you might have seen the size of the newspaper were 6 page or 8 page, or maximum sometimes some paper were publishing 10 pages. Otherwise, 4 to 6 page was very much common throughout the world, not only India, throughout the world. In Assam, also, if you see the old issues of Assam Tribune or Dainik Assam, you will find that 6 pages or maximum 8 pages were there. Gradually, it goes on changing. But today, you see, even the newspapers consist of 40 pages, 50 pages. There are certain newspapers which are published in 40 or 50 pages. So why it is possible? Because of the development, scientific development, and tremendous change in the printing technology, and because of science and technology development. So at present also, the government of India is giving initiative on the development of science and technology, and especially related to the research also. So lots of researches are going on, and to just fulfill the concept of the Prime Minister of India, like Make in India concept, and to some extent they are successful also. So in the educational sectors also, lots of changes have taken place. If you cite the example of this Gurukul Ashram, etc. So in Gurukul Ashram, the knowledge were imparted through the traditional form, like sharing of ideas, knowledge from oral mode. You can say that from one person to other person, it was disseminated and communicated. And in the beginning, we have seen the gurus were preaching the student, and student were disseminating the information, learning the information in this way or other way. So that was the system. But now that concept is completely changed, and we are talking about the e-content creation and development, etc., and which has become the need of the hour. And government is also taking lots of initiative for that. UGC has already taken some initiative for that. And because of that, we are here, all of us are here to talk something about this e-content development, etc. So this is just a mere the concept I am going to give you. what is e-content and how it can be developed, what are the importance, like that type of things, how what are the pages, etc. We are going to discuss in today's class, and we'll see next class what we will discuss. I will tell you later on. But at present, what is in front of us, you let us see it. So let me start with the words of the HRD Minister, Mr. Pokhriyal, Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, who on the 23rd of April, on the day of World Book Day, as well as that day is also celebrated as Copyright Day. So in this specific day, he has given the slogan of "My book, my friend," like that type of thing. So this "My book, my friend" is very important in today's context, and especially in the day in the lockdown period also. So without wasting our time, let me come back quickly to what he said basically related to the book. And nowadays this book is converted into the digital form or whatever we call it. So when you open, he, according to the education minister, he said that when you open a book, you open a new world, and books are person's best friend. Books inspire everyone and provide a new way of thinking. And book serves as a guide in difficult times of life. This is very important. Book serves as a guide in difficult times of life. Nowadays, as we all of us know that books are nothing but it is said that it is a friend, philosopher, and guide. So when we talk about the book, activities of book, the content of the book, these are all materials, and these are the common concept we are talking about. But when we talk about the academic related things, the teaching learning related things, then its value is different. When you talk from entertainment point of view, from other communicative point of view, then its value is something else. So our concern here is that for academic purpose, for school children, college children, college student, university student, what are the methods and how we are going to create the content, and how those contents are very, very useful for all of us in this changing world. So Mahatma Gandhi, I would like to quote Mahatma Gandhi, because he told that the future depends on what we do in the present day. So what we are doing in the present day, basically our future is in that area, and it is a right time, right gesture that we should remember Mahatma Gandhi about what he told many years back. So we are following this type of things in the coming days. So let me start with the e-learning, etc. So when you talk about the e-learning, because e-content is nothing but a part of the e-learning. If there will be no content, then there will be no e-learning. So both are directly interrelated with each other. So when you talk about the e-learning, so the simple meaning of e-learning is in front of you, that e-learning is the use of technology to enable people to learn anytime and anywhere. That is the most important thing. And if there is a perfect e-content, then it is very easy to learn and very easy to communicate and disseminate the information. That's why it is rightly said that use of technology to enable people to learn anytime, anywhere in the world. So this is one of the important things. Next important part of this lecture is that e-content. So as you are dealing with the e-content, so let us see the simple meaning of the e-content, that digital content that can be transmitted over a computer network such as the internet. So we are transmitting anything through the network, and through the network we are getting such type of information, and that information in the digital form or the electronic form can be called as e-content. And the Oxford Dictionary defines in this regard, the definition given by the Oxford Dictionary is that e-content is the digital text and image designed to display on the web page. So see, the Oxford, it is very one of the renowned resources for us, and we have quoted Oxford Dictionary. It mentions that e-content is the digital text and images designed to display on the web page. So whatever we are getting it in the web page, etc., those are all the parts of the e-content. And you will see that different videos are there, different audios are there, varieties of videos, varieties of audios, and designs, etc., in different way, which are attracting the people. So if your homepage is attracted, then we will find that many people are searching your homepage or looking at your homepage, or any resources we have made attractive and valuable and informative, then we'll find it is widely used in the context of today's context. So when you talk as e-learning is e-content, so in this regard, we can say that, as I told you in the beginning, that without e-content, there cannot be e-learning, and e-learning is possible only when there will be content, etc. So when there is no content, then there cannot be any e-learning platform, etc. So e-learning is directly related and associated with the e-content, etc. So e-learning is a process and e-content is a product. In simple way, it is said that it is e-learning is a process and e-content is a product. So if there will be no product, then there will be no user, there will be no purchaser, etc. So there must be some product, then only being a user we are going to use, and we are going to use for our respective purpose. So this approach of teaching has become answer to the complicated modern social and economic condition and exploding the population. So this is the only answer at today's context, that when you are talking about what is the quality of the e-content, how you have designed this e-content, what type of information are available in the e-content, all those gives the clear picture about the availability and about the use of this. That's why it is said that approach of teaching has become an answer to the complicated modern social economic condition, etc. So question and answer both are inside that, and you write in such a way that answer is also there, question is also there. That is the main purpose. That is why we are calling it e-learning is a process and e-content is a product, etc. The second point here you see that it is a lesson. E-content lesson is generally designed to guide students through information to help them perform a specific task. So it is a guide to the student. It is not only the guide. Teacher has to create the e-content. In one of the slides, I will show you what are the requirements for writing the e-content, etc. Especially when you talk about the SWAYAM platform or MOOCs platform. So one of the slides, I will show you what are the criteria, etc. for making the or writing the e-content, etc. But other than that, if you forget about the SWAYAM or other things, so in that case, anybody can create e-content, anybody can upload content. But the thing is that how much reliable that information will be, how much useful that information will be, because quality matters, quantity does not matter. So we have to check the quality and we have to check the authenticity. If authentic information is not there, if quality information is not there, in that case, it will be meaningless. Let me cite one example related to e-content made available to all of us through the Wikipedia. All of you know that Wikipedia is a resource where if you're typing anything in the Google or any of the search engine, the definitions or information are easily coming from the Wikipedia. But what was the fateful story of the Wikipedia in the beginning of 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, like that? So Wikipedia has allowed everybody to upload anything and without checking the authenticity, just going for the quantity, etc. So what happened? That the output of the Wikipedia was always and most of the time providing wrong information, sending wrong message to the society, because everywhere you will find some good people and bad people are there. There are antisocial people like also are there. So some people started uploading the irrelevant thing and wrong information, putting wrong information this. And regarding the state of Assam also, lots of wrong concept was uploaded, lots of wrong information, historical information were uploaded in the Wikipedia. When it was identified, then there was a hue and cry, and Wikipedia has to withdraw all those things, and people stop using the Wikipedia, stop citing the Wikipedia. Wikipedia lost its importance and value, etc. Now, again, today you can upload many things on this, but it is not directly uploaded. You have to, their committee is there, their team is there, their team verifies the content, checks the contents, check the authenticity of the content, and then only they are allowing those products or those write-ups to be uploaded. And now this information is very much widely useful. Wikipedia at present is web encyclopedia, you can say that, encyclopedia in the web form, and which is widely and maximum used. And we have started also using quoting and citing the text from the Wikipedia. But there was a time when you are citing anything in the Wikipedia, especially for the academic purpose, etc. Those were not counted, those were not accepted by the authority, concerned authority, etc. So this is the fate of the Wikipedia. So that is why e-content must be valuable, must be important. If importance is not there, quality is not there, then this will lead the society in the different directions. So we have to check this. That is why there are certain criteria, certain terms and conditions, who will write the content, who will create the content, but those are at the government platform, national level platform. But there are many people in the society who are writing the content, creating the content, and uploading the content in the form of blogs, in the form of portals, like that type of things. So what is the authenticity of that? We do not know. So these are some of the things very important for the wiki, this e-content learning and e-content creation. So here one of the point is that an e-content package can be used as a teacher in the virtual classroom situation. Yes, nowadays, see, there are many webinars are going on, many seminars are going on, that same lecture is being delivered by expert. So in that case, what we have seen, that expert has copied or made a video of that his or her lecture, and that lecture is played on the platform of the webinar or seminar, and the person is also sitting there, and the person appears in the beginning, and at the end, in between, the video recorded messages are continuing, and why there are advantage of both the things, video message as well as the live not demo, live presentation. We can say that in live presentation, what is that? There may be problem of sound, there may be problem of connections, there may be other problems also. Sometimes you are hearing, I am not hearing. Sometimes because of other technological problem, this type of problem arises. But if it is a video recorded, so only when network fails, then it will fail. Otherwise, sound, picture, visualization, clarity is very good. So that type of things are also being happening in the society. So that is why this particular point is mentioned here, that an e-content package can be used as teacher in the virtual classroom situation, and that is happening. I have seen, and you are also noticing, and you have also seen that this type of things are practiced a lot in many of the platforms, and that is working also really. And at the time of question hours, then the physical form of the paper present or the expert appears, and if you put question, then the expert is answering the questions and solving the problem, like that type of things. That is why this e-content package, ready-made package is there. Video recorded, already pre-video recorded lectures are there when teacher is not there. And some of the private institutions, especially nowadays in this pandemic days, that type of practice has been increased, and many institutions at private sector and public sectors are using this technology. Once the program is made and copied, and it is being delivered to you. Now, same thing is being delivered through this television portal, etc. You have seen that academic portals of UGC is there. Then other portals are also there through which you are getting the information. Recorded informations are there. In the YouTube, you have seen that many lectures are being uploaded by different scientists, different experts on different subject areas. So YouTube nowadays, it is one of the world's widest and largest and maximum used web research platform, because you want any solution, any answer, YouTube is ready for you. You just put a question right there, what you want, and YouTube starts giving you the audio visual presentation of anything, from any small thing to bigger thing, from academic to just commercial thing, from educational to the entertainment purpose. For any purpose, you want to learn something, you want to do some work, etc. You want to go for painting, you want to go for cooking or fooding, whatever it is. So all sorts of information are available. So that is also a type of educational resources and online resources, and those information available in that can be termed as the e-content, because e-content is there. That is why you are able to get the information, and we are able to access the information in the easiest form. And it is getting popularity because of that. That videos are of 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like that. All sorts of videos are there, but all videos are very, very informative for each of us. And that is why the importance of YouTube is increasing. But again, the question comes, what is the genuinity? What is the reliability of those things? Whether they are simply guiding us or giving information, or there are some value of this. Yes, in certain cases, many are important, many are valuable. But as I told you, everything has advantage and disadvantage. So there are some people who always does negative for the development of the society. So in certain cases, you will find some outdated, old information or unwanted information are also uploaded there, and which is not good sign. But you have to be choosy, you know how to select it. Then you will find that yes, those e-resources or those sources, YouTube channels, sources available through the YouTube channel, which contain the e-content, etc., are very, very useful and widely used throughout the country, throughout the world as well. And it is a real guru. It has become a real guru. You can say that, to say teach you or give you information without having the expert and without having the knowledge teacher in front of us. So that type of things are being also done now. This type of thing has been increased basically after the pandemic, etc., during the pandemic, etc. But in some of the private institutions, I have seen earlier also that they are creating the video lectures and video classes, and those students who are absent, who are absent on that day, specific day, then through the online mode, those lectures were provided to the student. So when they have not come to the class, they can able to go through the lectures provided by the teachers. And all lectures are video recorded, and any student is found to be absent, that student is given this. So that was done in the, still it is being done in the private schools and public schools, big public schools and private schools only. But now day has come where everybody is thinking in that regard, and we all will be benefited. The teacher will be benefited, our student will be benefited if you are practicing that type of thing. And if same lecture we have to deliver every time, in that case, we have to it will be better to make a video of that, and then you start disseminating it. And see, the Ministry of HRD has already announced, but it is not yet circular or rule, That is a verbal announcement that from next academic session, 20 to 25% of the syllabus will be covered under the online mode, etc. So when you talk about the online mode, automatically the creation and management and development of e-content will come. So this type of things which you are talking today are called or maybe called as the rehearsal or practice for the coming days. Now who knows that after a few months the UGC may take up this and they can send us an regulation, etc. That from next academic season the online classes will be 20 to 25% of the syllabus will be covered in the online classes. So using e-content, the time and finance involved in the teaching process can be minimized. Yes, you have seen. Best example nowadays is the webinar. Well, earlier when you were conducting a seminar, so at least 50,000 to 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees were spent by the organization or sponsoring body. But today you see very minimum amount is being spent for conducting the webinar. And just to very minimum amount. And this in this regard, just I would like your as maximum of you are from colleges, as you know that Assam College Library Association, they are imparting such type of training program or organizing such type of webinars for the last 55 days, more than 3 months, more than 2 months, you can say that. And till yesterday, they have already successfully completed 56 number of such type of webinars where the use of e-resources, then other teaching learning tools and other most important activities they have covered and they will be covering in future also. So these are the signs and these are the signals towards the development of this. So that is why we are talking, and they are not charging. Important thing is that they are not charging anything. They are not giving any money to anybody, even the resource person, and they are not charging anything from the student or scholars or those who are attending this program, teachers, whatever the target group are. So no investment, nothing. Only you have to spend your time and you start learning whatever you want it. That is why, but there are certain organizations who charges because there are some expenditure, etc. has to be borne, completed, etc. That's why using the e-content, the time and finance involved in the teaching process can be minimized. It is already minimized, and all the authorities will be very happy when you are spending less amount of money for the development of academic activities, etc. So it is a good sign during this pandemic, and it should continue after the pandemic also. See, one thing I would like to share here, that before pandemic, my personal view is that I have never heard about webinar, but I was knowing about seminar, workshop, conference, like that type of symposium, that type of things. But webinar, I came to know only when this pandemic started. Now everybody is talking about webinar. You turn the pages, you go to any of the social networking platform, you will find hundreds and more than hundreds of these webinars are being continued and being conducted throughout the country in this way and other way. So that is more or less, you can say that we are creating awareness in learning on e-learning as well as e-content dissemination, etc. So that is a good thing. So e-content is facilitating individualization, instruction as well, which is very important. Whatever I have told you, these are all related to such type of activities when we are using it for our specific purpose. The e-content is termed as electronic content. You know it very well, and that include already I have mentioned it include text, image, graphics, animation, audio, video, and sometimes the e-content will be single element carrying any one element or all the above, whatever you have discussed earlier, these text, image, etc., together to display offline or online web page, and can also be transferable to computer, to another computer, internet. We are sharing the information. Now regarding this, let me share one very important information regarding the sharing of e-content, which was directly or indirectly violating the copyright and digital right. When this pandemic started, you have come to know that the newspaper was for many days the newspaper was not subscribed, or newspaper was not even published, also not given also, even it is published, but it was not distributed to all the houses, etc. So during that time, I have also received more than 20-25 papers every day in the morning in the WhatsApp group, and all the latest newspaper, and in the midnight itself, the moment the paper was published, it was made available in the this online platform through the WhatsApp group, and it continues up to 20-25 days. Then all of a sudden, one advisory came from the newspaper agency that it has been noticed that the newspaper published from different parts of the countries in different languages are being misused, and it is being shared among all the groups of this WhatsApp group. It is available in the Facebook, it is available in other platforms as well. So that is a gross violation of the copyright and digital right and intellectual property right. If anybody continues this thing, then as per law act, they will be punished and legal action will be taken against them. The very next day, then the person, those who are sharing those information, came to hold, and what they have written that because of the advisory issued by the government, this newspaper agency, etc. From now onwards, we are not going to share or not going to share the we are not going to share this e-newspaper. So today I am giving you the links of all the newspaper you can use for your purpose. So what is the solution here? What is the information message I want to share with you for this e-content is that those are all commercial organizations. They are selling the information. Good information and important informations are not easily available or not freely available. So if it is available in the form of e-content through the newspaper, it was freely circulated to everybody. So in that case, there was a huge loss to the publishing house, print media, as well as the electronic media, because people were getting the information well advanced, and those who were also not interested but not willing to download, etc., they were getting ready-made newspaper. So they were going through it, they were reading it, and almost all the language of Indian countries, those papers were available. So this has taught a lesson that e-content is available, which can be transferable, which can be disseminated or shared. So later on, if you are reading it, you are downloading it, you are having the link, you are reading it, downloading it, and you are not disseminating or not sharing it, then it is not the violation of the copyright, because those newspapers are born digital, and that is also a type of advertisement for them. And you are purchasing the print version or not, that is immaterial here. But when the same thing is being distributed or shared, then it is a violation of that law. That is why it is here mentioned that e-content will be single element carrying any one element or all of the above, this text, image, graphics, etc., together to display offline or online web page, and also to be transferable to computer to another computer, internet. It is easily transferable from one computer to another computer, one device to another device, and you can get the information very quickly at any point of time. So that is the beauty of this e-content. But if it should be for proper use only, then only it is official or it is recorded. Now let me share one more information which is related to the e-content, but during that time it was not in the form of electronic content. And this example I have cited at several places, and I used to cite whenever I get the opportunity while talking about the communication or e-content or dissemination of information, etc. The information is like that in 1995, in the year 1995, you may be remembering, all of a sudden there was a news spread. During that time, the internet was completely new, totally new, and it was available with the dial-up connection. So dial-up connection means, what today also we are not able to connect through the phone quickly when we are having wireless connection. So dial-up connection was very poor during that time, connectivity and signal strength was very less. So during that time, the internet started. So during that time, this information came all of a sudden in the afternoon that at every nook and corner, wherever there is a small this temple-like structures, etc., or the Lord Ganesha statue are there. So the news came that Lord Ganesha started drinking milk. You take a spoonful of milk and keep near the trunk of the Lord Ganesha, and the milk was disappearing. So this news spread just like a jungle fire, and it was so quickly spread throughout the world, not only in India, throughout the world. So this news spread, and it was noticed that every nook and corner there was a rush that people were going and looking, and somebody was trying also, and those who were successful, they were coming and telling, yes, their milk is disappearing. So that was the information during that time. And you imagine if that information would have been today in the age of social networking site or social media, what would have been the output, etc. So different type of story would have been come for that, and different types of information were available in the form of e-content, etc. But during that time, this audio message was spread in such a way that almost all corner of the world people came to know about that type of activities during in the last part of 1995. It may be around October, November, December, something like that. I don't remember the date and month, etc. But it is as per that, according to that time only. So this was the news, this was the content. So with this content, you can imagine that if it is available in the pictorial form, graphical form, etc., what the print electronic media is doing, what any incident takes place, we used to, instead of going and helping the person, we used to start taking the videography of the film through your mobile phone. This is the common habit of the human being. So during that time, that would have been another this developmental work related to the content creation and generation. Whatever you are copying in the this smartphone or this video recording, etc., that all becomes the record, all becomes the content, e-content, etc., in the digital form, in the graphical form, whatever it is. Knowingly, unknowingly, everybody is producing e-content, but whether it is useful for you or not, that we decide later on. But when you are taking any photographs, when you are taking any video recording, doing any video recording, at least for you or for your family or for your friend, that becomes the e-content for everybody. But if it is for the society, then it is e-content is disseminated in the wider range, you can say that. So these are some of the experiences, and these are some of the things which are very, very important for the e-contents. So everybody is a creator of e-content, knowingly, unknowingly we are creating, but at what stage we are disseminating it, at what stage you are using it, that only time will say regarding this. So e-content or digital content, we call it e-content or we call it digital content. And we have already seen, we have discussed that it is in those involved in creating, providing and distributing information as a digitized content, which is viewed on a screen and not on the paper. So it is obvious that you are using it, seeing, looking at the television screen, we are looking at the laptop, desktop, we are using tablets or using your smartphone, or you are using in the ebook reader, etc. So that is visualized only on the screen, electronic screen or digital screen, whatever you call it, and not on the paper. See, notice board, information notice board, etc. Nowadays, if you go to the airport, go to the railway station, that earlier the information displayed on the notice board in the writing in black and white, or in the paper any news was posted. But nowadays arrival, departure of train, etc. were announced. It is today also it is being announced, but side by side we are having now this digital device being used, electronic device being used to tell you that what is the actual position of the flight or actual position of the train. That is also a e-content created by the railway or created by the this Airport Authority of India for giving the information about this. If you remember, if you go to the earlier in the airports, it was all manual. Manual means electronic come manual, semi-manual, you can say that. So it was information were in different blocks, and we were just moving, rotating, and the actual information was made available. It was taking a time, it was time consuming also. And sometimes if it was some error was seen, that it was not able to be displayed also. But see, nowadays, big screens are being displayed in the railway stations or in the airport, etc. So whatever we are getting, what information we are getting, all are type of the e-content, but purpose is different. For what purpose you are creating the content? Airport content is for giving the availability of the flight, arrival, departure of the flight, time of the flight, whether it is late or right, telling the this gate number, boarding information, etc. Check-in information, etc. In railway station, it gives you the arrival, departure, as well as late running of the train, etc. So the all e-contents are having various purpose. It is used for various regions. So the example I have cited for railway station, they are using for train timing, etc. For airport, they are using for this, like that. At every stages, you will find that this are used. You will find in many cities. Earlier in Gauhati city also, if you compare about 20, 30 years back, 35 years, 30 years, 40 years back, you have seen that in all the major charalies, etc., you will find that All India Radio mic was there, loudspeaker was there, and in the evening and in the morning, the prime time news were broadcasted by the this All India Radio, and it was audible and listened by all the society, all the public nearby, living nearby the areas. In all the charalies, big charalies, the loudspeaker were installed by the All India Radio to disseminate the information. Today, there are many cities, there are many places where big digital devices are there, big digital screens are there. Nowadays in Gauhati also you'll find in some places digital screens are there, but those digital screens are basically for displaying the advertisement, etc. But in many cities, the big display screens are there. Those screens are telecasting the news or some telecasting some important activities, etc., for the welfare of the society. So here I mean to say that what are being telecasted or provided, those are all the e-content created for that purpose. So there are various multi-purpose use of this e-content for every purpose. For what purpose you are using this e-content, that has to be decided by the concerned authority. So e-content that are produced and stored electronically rather than in print are the result of electronic publishing or e-publishing. The content can be in any of the following format. The formats are like this, that fully textual, only graphics content, or only audio content, or multimedia or hypermedia, mixing more than 2 information at a time. These are all varieties of this, how we are creating it. These are all technical part of such type of thing. We are being an end user. We have to know how to use it. We are using it. We are looking, reading the information in the internet. We are reading the information in the, we're getting the information in the television channels. We are getting the information from different media and sources. But how it is done, that is the technical part. And as we are end user, if I say we are end user, then we should know how to use it and how it is created. That is technical part. And if anybody is interested, they can go for that also, technical part, etc. But there are certain group of people who are always found to be busy in creating such type of activities. As I told you, that everybody is creator of content. So what are the nature of e-content? The nature of e-content, when I talk about, then it is all forms of digital information that is used for multiple purpose in different fields and areas. As I have already mentioned, that multiple purpose, no fixed purpose is there for e-content. Suppose NCERT, if I take the example of NCERT books. So NCERT books, e-contents are designed basically for the school from class 1 to, you can say you have seen the class 1 also, class 1 to class 12 student of all varieties of subjects. So their intention is to give textbooks in the electronic form, digital form. If you want, earlier, the NCERT books were basically used in the Kendriya Vidyalaya and central schools, etc. When I was a student, that time we have studied this NCERT books, but it was very difficult to get that book because you have to write to, in Pan Bazaar, 1 or 2 shop was only there. And if you are not getting the book in Pan Bazaar, then we have to write to Delhi in some of the publishing house, and they used to send the book through the VPP post, and then we are getting the documents, etc. But nowadays, see the importance of this electronic technology and electronic devices. You can download the entire books, whatever you want, without paying a single penny. You do not pay money also for that. Only thing is that you should have internet connectivity, and you should know the link where you will get that information. Go to the NCERT site and you download any book from class 1 to class 12 of any subject. Suppose it is 11, 12 book, then you can download the book of science, physics, chemistry, biology. You download the book of history, this arts and humanities and social sciences, commerce as well. And it is said that that NCERT books are very, very useful for competitive examination, basically for preparation of the civil service examination, especially in the field of social sciences, etc. So during that time, it was a very difficult job for a person, for the student, to get the book published by the NCERT from different various sources, etc. Now, sitting in your home, you can download the information and you can start using for preparation of any examination. So NCERT is one of the best example for creation of this, providing you the information through the multi-purpose format like that. So like that, many organizations are there. So it is living expression of the life in country, that all its images, sounds, and record heritage, etc. are there. Here you will find, now see, government is taking initiative also to maintain the heritage, cultural heritage, historical heritage, etc. So they are giving projects. The tourism department, I can say that history, that historical department, anthropological department are there. I have forgotten the name of the department. Those are giving the projects, etc. for that's making the content in the form of a that's documentary, etc. So there are Archaeological Survey of India. Sorry, Archaeological Survey of India are also giving funds, etc. Or they are having their own team are there. They are conducting such type of activities, and they are preparing the historical maintaining, managing, and maintaining the historical, archival, etc. things in the form of a video, audio, etc. And if you go to any historical monument site, you will find that audio cassettes are there, video cassettes are there. Nowadays, audio, video cassettes are meaningless. CDs are there, DVDs are there, or nowadays it is available in the electronic form, digital form. You can download from their websites, etc. So these are all the developmental activities. All are leading towards the content creation and content development, as well as dissemination of the content in different ways. So here we will find the image, sound of cultural heritage, historical heritage, and everything. And in tourism, basically, we have seen the tourism sector. These are very, very widely used, and it is giving the this return also, return in the form of generating revenue for the government, etc. Archaeological Survey of India is earning a lot by application of this type of things, and they are getting benefit also from, and they are avoiding the people also. If you go to any what you can say that religious place You can go to religious place. There also you'll find some videos and audios are there, musical songs are there, musical videos are there, depicting the information, historical information about that religious place, etc. So these are nothing but all the this content which are designed and created by somebody else and which are made available to you, and we are using it as an end user. So it is innovative application of computer in the teaching and learning process. So by the help of the computer, by the use of the computer, these things have become possible. Now, computer technology is also changing. The hardware is changing, the software is changing, and we have to change our concept and ideas also. The moment it is changed, the moment the format has to be changed. There are certain formats which cannot be used nowadays. If you have not converted those format to the new format, then those content which you have digitized earlier many years back, and because of the change in the technology of this hardware in the form of hardware and software, those were unable to be used. For example, let me cite that once upon a time, this record player was very valuable and was costly also, sing for song, etc. Now record player has become the rarest, and it has become the status symbol for some of the big personality. They are keeping the gramophone record in their drawing room for show purpose, for decorative purpose basically. But once upon a time, that record player was one of the resourceful information for entertainment purpose. Now those records were converted into audio CDs and video CDs later on, and picturization was done, then it was converted into video CD, otherwise audio CD. Now that audio CD, if you are having, many people may be having, but you cannot use it because you don't have the device. And if you are having the device, but you have not used, your machine may not be functioning, or you will find that the audio or video cassettes, the fungus has attacked and the rolls are not moving, rolls are damaged because you have not kept properly, you have not preserved properly. That was also one of the problem. So this pattern, this platform is nowadays changed. Then it was switched over to the CDs and DVDs. Then you have seen that everything was coming in the form of CD, and then it was converted to again DVD. Then it was converted to FMD, but FMD could not become public. It was just at institutional level, it was there, but for public, it was CD and DVD, which become very popular. But now see, CD is also, it has become obsolete. And now we are talking about the pen drive. We are talking about chips, microchips. Even a small chips can carry 1 TB of the data, etc. So see that advancement in science and technology, that within a small device, we can keep record of 1 terabyte of information, which are very, very important and which were not imaging, which could not imagine just up till few years back. So time is coming when there will be further development, and what new technologies come, we are not aware. But what I mean to say here is that whatever technology, new technology is coming, you have to quickly transfer your content from that technology to this technology. Then only this will be going on continuing. Otherwise, that will be unusable, and that becomes a worthless and meaningless program for all of us and all of you. So whatever you have done it in the form of creation, in the form of collection, in the form of dissemination, everything will be lost and your whole energy will be lost. So side by side, the moment the technology is changing, the moment the storing device is changing, you have to transfer immediately to those devices, and you will be keeping yourself safe from such type of activity. That is why we are telling that it is innovating application of computer in the teaching and learning process as well. If it is academic aspect, academic CD, academic DVDs, etc., and you are not converting into the latest format, then it will be worthless and meaningless for all of us. It may be internet-based, which includes text, video, audio, animation, video, environment, anything which I have already expressed, which I have already discussed. Let us talk something on feature of e-contents. So there are features, everything has its own features. So let us see about the features of the e-content, what it is. So here the first point reflects that e-content is technologically friendly to people for downloaded text materials and used on any computer independently for purpose of learning process. So it is a user friendly. So any content, if you have created, or if any content is with you, you are try to disseminate with your student, it should be and must be user friendly for the student. Otherwise, it will be meaningless, because every time you will not be in front of him or her for guiding its usefulness or how to use this. So it should be designed, the content should be designed in such a way that it should be user friendly, and it should be logical also, logically arranged. After one part, how next part is coming, after next part, how we are going to the next part. That type of thing should be clearly defined, and language, etc., should be written in such a way that everybody can understand. Because see, when you are preparing this e-content or anything for the study material for the school, so you have to think in the mind, because the school e-content is also prepared by the teacher, by the university teacher, by the college teacher. It is not prepared by the only the school teacher or primary section teacher, etc. It is so you have to keeping in mind, you are a postgraduate degree holder, you are a PhD, you are a postdoc degree also, and if you start thinking in that way, then the purpose will be lost. When you are preparing for class up to class 5, you have to be thinking on in your mind that you are a student of class 5, and then only whatever concept comes to your mind, then you can write up. Otherwise, if you think from that point of view, I am a PG degree holder and I am going to prepare, I have been given the task of preparing the study material for the school, then the school will be not benefited, the student will not be benefited, because the definition will be in different direction. For example, mere small example, let me cite regarding this. Suppose if you take the example of photosynthesis in science, what is photosynthesis? You teach the student in class 3, 4, 5 also. You teach the same thing in class 9, 10 also. You teach the same thing in class 11, 12, those who have taken science. Those who have again further taken science in degree also. Those who have taken the specialization in that area, again PG and PhD also. So same photosynthesis is being carried out from the school level to the university level. But see the presentation, see the definition, see the writing, all are different at different stages. Whatever you have learned in the school days, if you write the definition in the PG level, that will not work. Whatever you know in the PG level, that you will write in the at the time of creation of e-content for the school level, that will also not function. So you have to keep the target group in the mind, and then you can create the e-content. That then only it will be useful. Other it will be meaningless and worthless, etc. Your job will be also valuable time will be also lost, and nothing outcome will come from that type of things. So we have to keep in the mind for whom we are designing the e-content, or you're creating the e-content, etc. For musician, etc., they are creating the e-content for entertainment. Anybody can be entertained. That this television channels, the entertainment channels, they're creating the e-content in any form that anybody is getting entertained. But now see the news channel e-content. I am very sorry to say that news channel is nowadays no more any news channel. They have also become dramatic, just creating sensation and etc. They are not publishing or not telecasting the news in proper way. News should be always in the real form, and it should be neat and clean. It should be without music, etc. News should be just news. That in the radio you have seen how news is presented. So that type of news is very good. But in the news, music is more and sound is less. You are not able to understand it also. And any small thing are made very sensational. So what type of news they are producing, what type of news channel they are doing. So these are all meaningless things. When in the real sense, when you talk about the e-content creation and e-content dissemination, it should be fair, it should be audible properly, it should be looking in beautiful way, then only you will be attracted towards that. And just giving music, etc., and the real fact is not coming, and a small fact is there, you just moving in around the fact, and after half an hour, 1 hour, you will tell nothing output is coming from that. So you have wasted your valuable time. That type of news channel are nowadays creating the content. So that type of content, e-content, should not be encouraged for academic purpose. Basically, what you want to say, what you want to reflect, it should be reflected and shown clearly in simple language and simple sentence. So when you are creating e-content for the school students, your language should be simple. When you are creating content for the college students, your language should be in a different way so that college student can understand it properly. When it is PG student, then language should be in that way that PG student can understand properly, and the student need not go to the dictionary and find out the meaning of that type of thing. See, the Britishers has ruled over for more than 200 years, but in one sense, I can still say, it is my personal view, that we are still slave of the Britishers. We are doing the activities, repeating the activities what the Britishers has given us and shown us, and most of the activities are not continued, or they have stopped these activities by the Britishers himself, but we Indians are continuing it. I don't know why. So that type of attitudes are going in our country and everywhere. And the person who has given us, that person is in a different type, and they are not even bothered about that what they have given. They are in the different directions. So that type of activities. So mentally we are still the slave of those Britishers, what they have given us. Many examples are there. I don't want to share those examples, but those are also nowadays reflected in the e-content form, etc. So only I want to share this, that these are all the activities of this e-content, whatever we are getting in any form, in the mobile phone or whatever we are getting in the televisions or through the internet or whatever the electronic device we are using it. So e-content is having a learner friendly for easy navigation. I have already told you, I am telling this thing only, that whatever you are doing, that should be basically for the learner friendly. Another important feature of e-content is learner centric. It is useful, self-instruction model, etc. should be there. I have already described that this also, that its feature should be in such a way that it should be learner centric. Learner centric means learner should understand it. I am a creator. I should define in such a way that at one go, at one look, at one instance, the learner can understand it. And there you will find there are certain group of people or certain people are there, when they are given opportunity to talk something in a meeting or anywhere, they start giving lecture in such a way that 50% of the word you will not understand. Hi-fi English and hi-fi this thing. Why? You are in the public meeting, you speak in such a language so that everybody should understand. Everybody should not take the help of this, and everybody is sitting in front of you, standing in front of you, not as much knowledgeable as you are. So keeping that thing in the mind, if you are delivering your speech or your speech is being copied also, your speech is being recorded also. So it should be in such a way that a common people can understand your lecture. That should be the attitude of the person. But I have personally seen, I will not name any person, but I have personally seen there are many personalities, big personalities are there in our state, in our country, that at the time of talking, while talking casually, they are very friendly to you and they are talking in different ways. But as soon as they reach on the podium, they start talking in such a way that many of us will not understand what he is talking. That's why presentation should be also in the simple way. As you are talking in front of the audience, you are talking in the front of the target group. When you are talking in front of the scientist, then use the technical term and everything. When you are using in front of your related subject person, then you talk in the technical term and everything. But when you are talking in the mass and talking in the public, then you should just remind. So where is your knowledge? Where is this? That is all meaningless for you if anybody is not understanding your language properly. So you have to, that is also one of the most important criteria and also the part of the content creation, that at the time of creation, you have to keep the target group in your mind. You have to use the language in such a way, you have to frame the sentence in such a way that your content will be understandable to each and everyone. That's why it is said here that another feature, important feature of e-content is learner-centric. It is useful in self-instructional model. So the learner should not take the help of this. Now we see some of the distance mode of education's self-learning material. We call it SLM, self-learning material. When you go through the self-learning material of some of the university, you will find it is very beautiful and very good way it is presented. And without taking the help of any person, you can understand each and every sentence in each and every area of this, and what to do, what we are going to discuss, what you have discussed in the previous chapter, what you are going to discuss in the next chapter. All are logically arranged in self-learning material. That is in real sense the content creation by the renowned the learned society or learned people. But if there is no link between any of this, then what is the use of that? That's why this particular point is very, very important, which are coming under the feature of e-content. That is another important feature of e-content is learner-centric. It is useful in self-structural model. So this learner-centric should be given importance, then only it is possible. Next important is the e-content is also teachers friendly. It is used in various teaching learning methods such as classroom, lecturing, group, lab session, etc. I have already told you. Regarding lab session also, see, here I have already mentioned about that learning method, teaching method, classroom also I have talked about that some videography should be there. So in case of any student is absent, that in that case, the student will get the information and he can go through it, that what the teacher has taught during his absentee time. So that is already there. Here one thing is lab session. So if lab session is missing, you could not attend the lab session. If there is also for videography, etc., that's good. Otherwise, you can take the help of virtual lab. Nowadays, in the age of these technological changes, we are having virtual lab. You go to the Google and type virtual lab, and because with the help of the simulation, you can start practicing practical. You can start the chemistry practical. You can do the biology practical. You can do the physics practical. All sorts of scientific practicals is nowadays possible in the virtual mode. So that platform is known as virtual classroom or virtual mode. You can go to that virtual lab, and go to Google and type virtual lab, and science teacher, those who are attending, those who are the science teacher, they may be knowing more than me, because I am just giving you the information. I have not experimented all those things. So this is just sharing information to all of you, and those who have used it, it's good. Those who have not used it, you go and try it. Go to the virtual lab and you see how the practical classes can be done instead of the physical presence in the class. As at present the colleges are closed because of the universities are closed, schools are closed because of the lockdown, pandemic, etc. So virtual lab is one of the solution for all of you to do the practicals. You first try yourself, then you can tell your student, you can teach your student how this is possible. Nowadays the internet connectivity is not a just a tough thing to do. Everybody is found to be 24 hours into 24 hours on online connections. Only thing is that speed may be less because of the less bandwidth, etc. So Geo has brought a revolution, and in that revolution, just few years back, everybody is nowadays online for 24 hours. Prior to that, we had to purchase half GB, 1 GB, 2 GB for 1 month by paying 500 rupees to 1000 rupees for 1 month. Now, by paying 500, 600 rupees, you are getting every day 2 GB data, 1.5 GB of data, and for that too for almost 3 months of the period. So this data is nowadays meaningless, completely meaningless, and it is totally free. You can say that. See, you are using this class for 1 hour, 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and how much data you are going to use it. If you compare this 5 years back data, then it would have been very costly affairs. But today, because of the Geo, because of the easily availability of internet connection, it has become everybody to be online for 24 hours. And we have seen that everybody, the student, teachers, all are found to be online for 24 hours. So these are some of the information features of this e-content, which are very, very important. Now, there are some forms of e-content. Many forms I have already discussed, but even though it is as per the system, we have to talk on that. So what are the various forms of the e-content? The various forms of e-content are text, pictures, then pictures, photographs, audio photographs, photographs, then sound, then video, then animation, then simulation, then presentation. This simulation, I was talking about this virtual lab, etc. That is the example of the simulation. You can conduct the practical classes in the virtual mode without going to a college, and it looks like completely what you are doing in the lab. And there is no, if you're doing any experiment in the chemistry in the lab, there is a chance of accident. If some wrong analysis you are doing it, there may be chance of fire takes place or some accident takes place. But here in virtual mode, there is no question on maybe damaging yourself or your student get hurt from this accident, etc. So this is safe also in this virtual mode, and you will feel like that you are doing experiment in the live experiment you are doing it. So it is prepared in such a way, and that content is created by the people like you and me, the people, scientists, those who are interested in that area. So this type of researches are going on, and every day we are getting some new concept, new ideas. So in the internet, it is a treasure of knowledge for all of us, treasure of content for all of us. Only thing is that you have to use it. Here, the good information as well as bad information, all type of information are there. Only you have to use the relevant one and the good one, which is really important for all of us. Otherwise, you ignore the unwanted things and irrelevant things, then you will find that this e-content art creation is also very interesting, and dissemination is also very interesting. And when your content created by you is read by maximum number of the people, maximum number of the students, then you will feel proud for yourself. Yeah, this has been designed by me, this has been created by me, and this is being used by this number of users, and I'm getting popularity. Like that type of things, you will feel yourself proud, and this is possible only because of this type of activities. And it is here at present. You can start from the beginning, start from the zero, start from any small activities, etc. And one day you will reach the height, and people will be knowing in the society that you are a good content creator, and then you will be in demand. And then when you will be in demand, then you will get high maximum payment for that, for creating the content. But that should be very, very, what I can say, that informative and innovative, that it should be first time that type of things are coming up. Certainly you will find that you are a new type of man, new type of woman, and which will lead towards reach the new height, etc. So these are the forms of e-content: text, pictures, photographs, sounds, videos, animation, and simulation and presentations. And what is coming under text? Text is most important element of any content. So without text, that cannot be any content. See, if you are looking my picture in the video, my audio is there, my voice audio you are listening, my video picture is there, and side by side text is there. Who am I? My name is also written there. Okay, so three things you are getting here. So this is one of the things that text is most important element of any content. If my name is not there, then who am I? Who is speaking? You may not be knowing. If the this organizer will not introduce me, who am I? Then you will not be able to know what is my name, what is my address, what I do, everything. So this text is very important here. At time when I am delivering lecture and you are watching me, you are listening to me, and you are seeing my name in the screen, you are seeing my presentation in the screen. Those are all in the form of a text. So these texts are very, very important for all of us. So text is most important element for any content we are going to generate, or whether it is available. So computer of any level can help create text file through WordPad or MS Word to create formatted text. Nowadays we are having open source initiative also. MS Office, Open Office is there. So in Open Office also you can see MS Word. These are all licensed version. So nowadays what we have seen, many of the persons are using the pirated copy of this MS Word or MS Office, because at the time of purchasing, you are purchasing the device by paying huge amount of money, maybe laptop, maybe desktop, maybe any electronic device, but you are ignoring that you should purchase some licensed version software also. It is not your fault. It is not our fault. It is the common trend which is prevailing in the society, and it is the trend of the supplier also, from whom we are purchasing. He will say that if you are purchasing the licensed version of this device, then cost is higher. Then he will say, no, I cannot afford this much amount of money. I can afford only this much amount of money. So what they are doing, that has become practice for them, that they will sell the product in the cost in the price of the device only, and the software, some of the common software, they will give you free of cost. Free of cost means what? It is the violation of the copyright. It is violation of the intellectual property right. It is the violation of the digital right. If you are using the Microsoft Office without purchasing the license, and Microsoft people comes to know about this type of thing is happening, then legal action will be taken against you. Some amount of money you have to pay as a fine. This thing has happened. As far as I know, I will not name any of the college or institution in Gauhati itself. Some of the institution has to pay huge amount of money to the Microsoft Office for unauthorized using of this Microsoft Office, and they were by sudden visit, they were caught that they are using the they are not using the licensed version of the software. That is the scenario. So while purchasing the device, you should think of the purchasing of the this thing also, software also, relevant software also. Some amount you have to pay, but you are the bona fide user, you are the genuine user in that case, and if you are facing any problem, you can write to the company that this problem is being faced, that problem is being faced. But if you are using the pirated copy and duplicate copy of that MS Office, then it creates a problem. So for that, we are having open access initiatives. So if you are using open access, open office, so open office is having all features, what you are having the MS Word or Microsoft Office, etc., and that is freely available, and there is no violation of copyright and digital right. So this is also one of the important things. Whatever you are using, that is important, but those are all interlinked with each other. If there is no Word file, Word page with you, you cannot write a text, you cannot type a text, etc. So either it should be MicroOffice, or it should be Open Office, or it should be any of the platform which is available in the net, or which is available in this technology is changing, because you cannot say that at moment I am talking, nothing is there, but after 1 hour you will find lots of devices are there, lots of technologies are there for that. So every moment something is coming up. So that is why we used to advise that we are having this MS Office, but side by side, if you have the Open Office, etc., then you are in the safer side, and you can go and create the content in different ways as you like it. So another important is that one can save the text file in the TXT, docs, STM, PDF format, etc. So this is just a mere example. Whatever the platform you are using, whatever the software you are using, you must save it, and then only later on you can retrieve the information. You can disseminate the information. You can transfer the information from one software to one computer to another computer, one place to another place, and these things are possible because of the technology we are having, advanced technology we are using here. Then we are having pictures and photographs. Second, this thing. Second forms of e-content is pictures and photograph. Yes, pictures and photograph. It can store pictures in various formats: BUMP, GIF, JPG, PNG, and many more formats are there. Here some few examples are only there. So if you are storing the picture, now it depends upon the size of the picture. What is the picture size in KB or in MB or GB, whatever it is. So that should be in a specific size. And while transferring It should, or when you're transferring, the size should not be bigger in size, and it should be in a specific size so that it can be transferred properly. You have seen nowadays when you are filling up the electronic form, etc., for any purpose, for registration or for application form, anything. So they have this to identify, this to give the specific size, that your photo should be within 50 to 100 KB or 20 to 180 KB, like that. Your signature should be within 20 up to 50 KB or up to 30 KB, like that. So why they are giving the specific size? So that extra space or extra thing you are not going to give, and limited space should be given. That's why within a specific size, if your file size is bigger, you have to reduce the file size, and you have to make the size of that or below of that size, then only it can be transferred, otherwise it cannot be transferred. So picture, etc., are having different size, different formats, etc. So let us see what is BMP format. So BMP is an uncompressed format that stores pictures in millions of colors. See, colors. Computer has 3 colors, and out of this 3 color, when you mix up one color to another color, we are getting millions of color, n number. I used to tell n number of colors because you don't know how many colors are coming up. Here we are using the term millions. How many millions? It is not defined. So we better to say that in n number of colors, and this is the most popular format for exchanging pictures between different programs, etc. So BMP file is there, zip file is there, JPG file is there. What is GIF file? It is a compressed format that stores pictures in 256 colors. This is a very popular format for displaying picture in web pages. And JPG size is a glossy of format that stores picture in billions of colors in very small file size, thereby making it most popular format for Econtent. And there are many more formats are there, many more things are there. Here, just my intention is to give you the idea that this type of things are there, this type of pictures are there, pictures can be stored in this type of format, and you can use any of the format for a specific purpose. And whatever the purpose is there, whatever the format is there, you have to use the for a specific region, and it should look beautiful, it should look nice. Next important is sound. Sound is also matters. You are listening my sound in the beginning of this session. My sound was clear to you, but your sound was, from speaking from that side, I was not getting clear because some problem was in my system. My system sound was completely minimized, volume was minimized. And here in this system, in other system, when you just clicking the press of sound, it goes increase and decrease. Here you have to press control, or you have to press the shift button, then you have to move the arrow, etc. Then sound was changing, etc. So this type of technical problems are there. It varies from system to system, machine to machine. So whatever is there, sound plays an important role. So sound is also various sound. You might have heard about this Dolby sound, then studio sound. You have heard about mono sound, like that type of things. Various types of sounds are there. So there are various formats of audio that can be used as a part of e-content, which are the .wav, .u, .mp3. We are having mp4 like type of things also. .mid and many more are there. So what is .wav is most popular format of audio deployed in e-content. This offers multi-track audio both in uncompressed and compressed and sampling rates. And what is AU? .au? AU is compressed format of storing audio from Sun microsystems. And MP3 or MP4 is a highly compressed format for storing voice and music. This is the popular format storing and exchanging digital music today. And .mid is a popular format for storing music. So there are varieties of this platform, etc. You have heard about Dolby sound. So now in the picture, you will find some of the picture theater halls are advertising Dolby sound. Earlier it was this studio sound. Prior to that, it was, if you remember, go back to history during the 80s, 90s, 70s, like that. Eastman color. Whenever any picture was released, it was showing Eastman color. So what is the color? Now after that, we got Dolby sound in the advertisement. Stereophonic sound, Dolby sound. Now there are many cinema halls, theater halls where they used to write Dolby sound, name of the theater hall, then Dolby sound, like that. Now there are many theaters hall, they are saying 3D facilities are also there. So these are all the technology which are used for picture, audio, video, technology, etc. So sound is also one of the important part. If sound is perfect, then you will enjoy the sound, you enjoy the music, enjoy the narrations, enjoy the deliberations, enjoy the documentary very well. So sound adds additional taste to any of the audio-visual programs, you can say that. Then video. Video is most sensational medium in the context. Nowadays, the television channels, they are always providing the sensational news through the video and through the sound. So they are creating sound in such a way, they are giving video in such a way, they are repeating the same thing for several times. You see that every day in the news channel, you will find that same thing is repeated. You get irritated. I myself get irritated sometimes. I used to switch off the television. I used to switch over the channel and go to the other channel. Same thing is repeating and no result is coming up. And at the end, nothing is comes up. They just talk on this in around the subject and nothing concrete appears. That type of things are there, and that is the beauty of this video. That is the beauty of this sound, audio, etc., and music, etc. That type of sensational program are being nowadays being organized. And there are some channels, they are fighting with each other. What is the use of fighting? Go and fight in the field. Why are you fighting in front of the television? You are making this making fool to each and every citizen who are watching your channel. So this is not a good sign. But what we can do is just we are taking example in the form of a content. There are form of a content in the audio and video format, etc. But certain things are there, good and bad things are there. Always you have to ignore the bad one. You have to accept the good one. Then what is the next point? Next point is with a breakthrough in the compression and streaming technologies, video has emerged as feasible e-content element. Yes, it is true that streaming technologies video has emerged. Now I see lots of, as I in the beginning I have told you, lots of webinars and webinars are going on. Seminar is not, webinars are going on, and most of lecture classes are going on. See here, you are attending about I don't know exactly a figure, but maybe 200 or 300%, maybe there, even more than that, maybe there. There are some this FDP program going on in different parts of the country where 700, 800, 1,000 participants are also attending. But in real set, in the classroom mode, how many? 35 to 40 or maximum 50 persons are attending any of the short-term courses or short-term this FDP program, etc. So giving lecture in front of maximum 50% and talking in front of 1,000 or 300, 400 plus person, it makes a difference. So here these things are possible. This 1,000 and this thing are possible because of the technology, whatever you call it. But here I'm citing the example of streaming. So streaming in the sense that suppose this Zoom platform is being used by Pandu College, and if its capacity is only 100, presume that its capacity is only 100 or 200, 300 like that, and more than 500 people are registered to this. So what you will do? Either you are giving a facility to 100, or that your limitation is 300, or limitation is 500. Your participant has become 1,000. So you are going to leave the 500? No. In that case, you can use the streaming facilities, streaming technology, and you can make available that through the Facebook Live, through the WhatsApp, YouTube Live, etc. Or it depends upon the platform you are using. If you are using Zoom platform, you can go that. If you are using this Zoom Classroom, Google Classroom, Google Meet, then they are having their own streaming facilities. And where I have heard, I have not practiced, I have not done, but I have heard that lakhs of people can be also joined together under that streaming. Now, how far it is correct, that I don't know, because practically I have not witnessed and I have not seen it. But I have seen that few hundreds are attending it, but it is said that lakhs of people can attend it. So like that, there are limitations for streaming also. So video can be disseminated through the streaming by application of streaming technology also, and it is very useful nowadays, especially during this lockdown period. It has become very easy and very simple and very widely used technology by streaming. This seminar webinar is going on, and 1,000 plus just few days back, last month itself, Department of Library Science, they're not Assam Library Association in collaboration with Society for Library Studies in Tezpur. We have organized one this webinar, and resource person was from Saudi Arabia, and where we have 1,300 person attended. So only 300 was online, and others were all in Facebook Live, etc. So it is because of the streaming technologies like that. So with breakthrough in compression and streaming technology, video has emerged as a feasible e-content elements, and it is widely used, especially in this lockdown period. Like other elements, digital video also comes in many formats like .avi, .mov, .mpg, .rm, .wmv, lpv, and many more there. I don't know even many names. Just this name I have got down from the various sources of the internet, etc. So these are actually, I have no technical idea about this. What is API? What is MPG? I have heard MPG, we are using it. But what is WMV? What is FLB? These are all the written documents. And there are many more besides that. So, but let us see, it is written in the form of a points here. So what is it? So API is a popular format of storing digital video in computers. it stores both in compressed and uncompressed form. Okay, fine. MPG is a glossy, sorry, it is glossy and compressed format of storing video, and WMV is from Microsoft for storing highly compressed and streaming video windows, and FLV is from Macromedia to deal with the video. That means more or less you should understand that these are all the platform, and when you are going to use the video, etc., automatically in the internet you will find the latest one as well as the old one. Now you have to choose which one we are going to use it, or it depends upon the service provider or the platform, which platform they are using it, which format they are using it. So it depends upon the time, or it depends upon the creator to choose which format you want for the video streaming, etc. Now animation is very important. That's why I told you that few minutes back that news channels, etc., nowadays using lots of animation in their news, etc., and that sometimes makes very attractive, but sometimes it irritates the person also. And why that best answer will be given by the media channel only. At present, being a content creator, what is in their mind, they think that if they will do so, then certainly they will attract more audience, etc. But whatever the reason may be, these are all part and parcel of the content creation, etc. And animation is playing a major role. So here 2D and 3D animation are powerful communication. Nowadays I have witnessed 9D communication, 9D animations also, 9D technology also. 9D technology I have seen in one of the science museum, where if you enter into that, in 3D you have seen the objects are coming in front of you, you see the variation of the sounds, videos, etc. But in 9D, along with the 3D, whatever we are getting, variation the sound, moving picture, etc. Here in 9D, you have seen that your chair is also moving, your body is also moving, starts moving. You will feel like that your chair is also moving, your body is also moving. You are part of that activities which is being performed. If it is quarreling, if you are feeling that you are the person that you are fighting, also giving different pose, etc. Also, so that type of things are available in the 9D technology, etc. If raining, you find that rain is falling in your body, etc. So these are all the animation parts, etc. by the application of different technology. But here 2D and 3D is basically related to picture, etc. If you want to assume it, then you go and use see the science museum, go and attend, watch or enjoy that activities in science medium. Then you will take the real test of how this 9D technologies are being applied, and 2D and 3D you are using every day in your life. Nowadays in the Facebook also there is a provision of 3D pictures. So I have seen many pictures, many person posting their 3D pictures, and when you see the pictures, body pictures is shaping, changing, we think that somebody is sitting, standing in behind of some object, like that type of things. In 2D picture we are getting only the view, but here we see the movement in the picture also, that I have seen. Just few days back, somebody had posted 3D movie, 3D picture, etc. in the Facebook, etc. photograph, etc. Now see here, when we talk about this 2D and 3D, etc., this application of 5G technology. Now we are still in, government is still in 2G and 3G only, but the private agency like Jio, Airtel and other platform, they are providing us 5G technology. And though we are boycotting the Chinese product and Chinese things, but China is thinking, China is very good. Very soon they are going to introduce 7G technology, but we have not yet used the 5G technology. It has not used in our hand the 5G technology. It is still in the hands of the rich people and rich big organization, etc. And the 5G technology being already started in some of the organization, institution, and by the help of this 5G technology, we are talking about the artificial intelligence. We are talking about the sound system communication, etc. So these things are possible. These things have become possible only because of the application of 5G technology. And 4G technology development, you have already seen in what direction we are at present. And when this 5G will come, then in which direction it will move, only the time will say. And that too in the audio, video, animation, sound, and creation and management of development of e-content in the real sense, we can say that. So animation come in different formats like .flc, .swf, .gif. Now what is FLC? It is an old 2D dimension, 2D animation format from Autodesk, and SWF is from the Macromedia to store vector-based 2D animations. Some programs also render 3D animation in this popular format, and GIF can also be animated frames. And besides that, also there are, when you go to the internet, etc., you will find the latest mode of how to create animation, etc. You will find it here. Again, my intention is to tell you that this type of activities are here. I am not here to teach you how to animate the picture and design the picture, etc. That's this type of information I want to share with you. And if you are somebody may be interested in animation, etc., then you can go for and this type of technology, and many more advanced technologies are there in this changing world. So you can always use the advanced technology. Don't go for the old technology. And this is what I was talking about, simulation. So simulation is nothing but it is a real-time interactive of e-content element can work in a virtual lab. As I was talking about the virtual lab, so you can go to the Google platform and just type the virtual lab. You will get lots of information, and you use even you do not know anything, but those are all digital content created for the use of for you. So these are all in simple language and simple way, and you can use the trial and error method. Trial and error method is one of the biggest source for inspiration to all of us. And you also remember, trial and error method technology must be used. If you are using this trial and error method, then you will be always successful. In one go, you are not successful. Second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt, and at certain point of time, you will be a successful person. But if one go you are getting everything success, then even small or minor mistakes comes, will not be able to trace where the mistake lies, where the problem is there, and then you have to take the help of the expert. You have to call the expert and to solve the problem, etc. But if you are using the trial and error method, then in that case you become the master of each and every point, even a smaller to bigger area, and later you can give suggestion to anybody and everybody about these things. So it is a real-time interactive related to the content, e-content, etc. by the help of this virtual lab. Suddenly, teaching mathematics, physics, and chemistry with this new ad has made learning more interesting. Now, many teachers may be here and present in this session who are from physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, etc. After the session is over, you go to the virtual lab, and many of maybe you also using, I don't know, but many of it is a common one. Many of you may be also using it. So those who are using, it's fine. You tell your colleagues, etc., that how it is functioning. And those who are not using it, those who have heard for the first time, because there are certain group of people, they are listening something for the first time. So if you are getting it for the first time, then go to the Google and type virtual lab and see the output. It is all user friendly, and you can arrange. It is all arranged according to the different subject wise. Go to that particular subject, go to simulation, start the virtual lab, start the titration, start the biology project, start the physics project. Everything is possible, only you have to choose the subject, etc. And this is very important in this change, in this lockdown period. You can tell your student, because in many of the sessions I used to the resource person of the ACLA is conducting. So there sometimes used to earlier we are getting the information that how to conduct the practicals. The colleges are closed, labs are closed. Then nowadays we are just providing this information also. We are giving the demo of this information also. One of our experts is giving demo in this information about the virtual lab, and it is highly appreciated by the teaching community and user, those who have attended that program. So you also from this forum, I would like to tell you that you share this information that you also start using this virtual lab, especially the science teacher, and you will be really benefited from this type of activities in the coming days. So one can design, store, and display simulation applets in various format using SWF, .swf, .jar format, like that type of things. So you go and see how to design it, how to create it. You will get some information. I have not checked whether you are able to design or not, but I'm sure that some information may be available there. You go to that particular site, virtual lab, and just find out that whether you can upload or you can do the experiment can be done. It is done, but whether you can create a content for lab or not. So some certain guides will be there, some guideline will be there, sometimes some condition there. If you fulfills, then you can go and start working, and you can create your own lab, and you make it a specific one and make a video recording of that. And then instead, if even you are not in the class, or if you are not in the sitting live in front of the system, you can disseminate and share this valuable information to the students also. You run the video, and your student will be really benefited from such type of activities. So this SWF is a format for displaying simulation content. This is widely used because of 95% of desktops have access to flash player. Yes, this is very important, that your system must have the flash player. If the system is not having the flash player, in that case it will not run properly. So generally it is mentioned that almost all the computers are nowadays having the flash player. If it is not there, you download it, download the flash player and start working on that. And .jar, JAR is format that stores Java-based interactive applets providing stimulated context, and it is very simple and very easy. And you go and use it, then you find how much interest is created by using that content, already available content in the form of simulation. On the page is virtual lab. Don't forget virtual lab. Go to the virtual lab and start using this type of things. And these are some of the presentations, and presentations in the form. The electronic presentations have become a standard tool and considered as a good teaching learning aid. So presentation is perfect. Presentation should be perfect. If the presentation is not perfect, if the presentation is not attractive, then you will find that it creates it is not creating interest among the user, etc. That's why you will find in some of the PPTs, many people used to give the PPTs, and their PPTs are full of creatures in the form pictures, sound, animations, videos, like that type of things, and that are helping a lot to everybody to create interest among the during presentation time, and that attracts the user as well. So your attitude should be also like that, but don't give unwanted animation which is not relevant to the topic, because I have seen in some of the slides earlier at different places that the context is something else and animation or picture is something else. They are not matching with each other, and they are all relevant. I have seen somewhere in one of the place that I will not name the place or name the person, but I have seen one of the place that I don't know why that person has given in each slide the varieties of sweets, pictures of varieties of sweets. I don't know why the picture, the man, the viewer, etc., or the audience will be looking at the sweets or looking at the text. I don't know what was the reason behind that, and that type of things are also happening. And at the end, I asked the question that there is no similarity between your text and the picture you have shown. Text is something else. Text is all technical and related to the concerned subject. But the picture you have given of sweets, in each slide, different type of sweets were shown. Now, what is the relation between sweets and this? Then his intention, he told me like this, that I have prepared the slide in this way that everybody focus will be towards the sweet. Those person who like sweets, their focus will be towards the sweets. Their focus will not be towards the content. And at the end, that person will not go through the content properly by looking at the sweets. The slide will appear and disappear, and at the end, there will be no scope for asking any question. So that was the reason the person has told. I was surprised to see that the people are thinking in this way also, that there should not be any question on the presentation. So you distract the person by applying giving some this type or that type of animations. So that type of things, that type of people are also available in the society. So see the mentality of the people, etc. And today I'm very lucky that till now everything is fine and all people are gentle people. All the participants are very gentle people. I have seen in Nalbari this program. I have come to know that every day one person was creating problem. He was just drawing something, drawing a sketch and drawing annotation or something like that. So that shows the mentality of that person, mental sickness of that person. Or if you're not interested, just simply move out from this lecture, move out from the session. Why you are distracting the resource person as well as disturbing the other participant as well. So it is very good that in this platform I am not getting such type of things, and all of you are academicians and related to the teaching community. So it is a good sign. But there also it was for teachers, for 405 plus teachers were there. Some teacher was doing that type of thing. To see the mentality of that teacher, that you are distracting the resource person as well as others. When I inquired the matter, then I came to know that every day that type of thing was done. So I just I have told that person also that you are mental sick, you go to take the help of the psychiatric doctors, etc. Then only you probably, after that I have seen that it was not coming, but it is not a good sign. Yesterday also in one of the session I found that somebody was drawing something like that. This is not a good activity, initiative. It is a public forum, If you may like, you may not like. If you do not like, just simply remove yourself, move out from yourself. That should be the attitude of the person, etc. So I am very thankful to all of you that here I till now I have not got any disturbance, this type of things, etc. So coming back to the presentation again, the most popular format is PowerPoint presentation. As I have already mentioned, the PowerPoint is very, very useful. And in PowerPoint presentation in Microsoft Office, I can use the PowerPoint presentation in this Open Office also. Both the result outcome is same. Whatever you are using there and whatever you are using here, etc. So I have already told you my experience related to the PowerPoint presentation. The PowerPoint presentation is also one of the content idea, etc. Here I am using my PowerPoint MS Office PowerPoint presentation, and you are using it, and you will find that I have given also some pictures, but I have not given many pictures to distract it. And whatever the pictures I used to give, I used to picture relevant or related to the text only. Otherwise, it is again not a good sign and good thing. So the format should incorporate the following. The objective of module should be clear. Glossary of terms used in the module. Frequently asked question with the regard of content of the module should be there when you are presenting it. Whenever you are presenting it, your objective should be clear. Here, our objective is to give you the idea about the content creation, content development, etc. What is the meaning of that and how it is useful, that type of things. And we are talking of that. Glossary of term used in the model. We are using not the technical term, we are using the simple term at present. And if there is any technical term is coming, you have seen that dot extension with some files or names are there. Those are all technical terms. That is the need of the hour. You have to give that. And if you are, it is in the digital form, it is a content already created content, etc. Then don't forget to give frequently asked question. That means FAQ, because you presume yourself that this type of question may come. So instead of this type of question being asked several times by several people, you just give a FAQ, that is question given by yourself, and answer is also given by yourself. So when you are doing so in the content, already ready-made content, etc., that clears some of the doubts, common doubts among the user, and the user is not going to disturb you. Otherwise, the user may have some doubt, user may not may not have some clarification. Now, to whom to ask this clarification? You have presented in the digital mode, online mode, or it is available in the internet, and it is available in some of the portal platforms, etc. So the author, you are the author, but you are not known to the user. Then how the person will be in contact with you and ask you about the clarification, etc. That is why the frequently asked question is must in the all content. That's why you have seen in the self-learning materials of any distance open learning courses. For example, Indira Gandhi National Open University. It is one of the world's. It is one of the world's largest and biggest open universities. And it is imparting all branches of knowledge. All courses are being imparted to them, and they are having the self-learning material. If you have seen the study material, we call it in general terminology, we call it study material. In technological terminology, we call it SLM. That is self-learning material. So when you go to the self-learning material or the study material of the open distance learning or IGNO, you will find that objectives are there, outcome is there, then the texts are described beautifully in point wise, just like a note, and then at the end the frequently asked questions or question and answer are there. Question is given, answer is given, then glossary is also given, that if you are not understanding the meaning of a particular term, you go through the glossary, you can come to know the meaning of that particular word, you will come to know the definition of the particular word, etc. So in self-learning material, Indira Gandhi self-learning material, take it as an example, and you are having that material, it's fine. If you don't have the material, then go to igno.ac.in or go to the eGyan course portal, and in which subject you want, go to that particular school, and particularly here we are talking department or faculty, but they are using the term school. Go to that particular school and go to that particular course, and in that course you download that study material or self-learning material, and you find out, check it, all these things are maintained by them. Objectives, glossary, frequently asked question, answer, etc. are maintained by them. Those are in real sense the content, etc., which are available in the digital format, and which they are imparting, which they are giving in the printed form to the student also. At present, it is available in the digital form, or you can take the help of government initiative. Already government initiative has taken place. You know about the EPG Pathshala. You go to the EPG Pathshala site, and there you'll find the information according to the subject, different subject wise. Go to different subject. Under the subject, go to the different concept knowledge, concept area. You click that, you will get the ready-made e-learning material or printed material that are all developed by somebody else, or go to the Swayam MOOCs. Through there also you can have the information. These are all nowadays need of the hour, and which the people like you or people like me have to do it. This is the continuation of earlier one, that formats. We're talking about formats: objective, glossary, frequently asked question, then quiz. Some of the organizations or some of the content also provide some quiz pertaining to the content of the formative evaluation, etc. So quiz also, few questions should be given in the form of quiz, because nowadays, see, there are competitive examinations. In competitive examinations, we are having multiple choice questions, MCQ, etc. And MCQ, just write an answer for any question. If you once read the paragraph, read the content, read the text, you will be able to answer it. But if you want to answer the multiple choice question, each and every concept discussed in the text have to be clear by you, or you must go through each and every line, each and every important area of the content. Then only you can answer the multiple choice question. Otherwise, here you cannot write the correct answer if you have no idea about the subject. But in descriptive type, even you have heard about the subject, even you have some idea about the subject, you can start writing. You can write one paragraph, you can write one page, like that type of thing. So there should be some quiz-like questions also. A quiz facility may be also provided in your content at the end, so that the end user will be benefited, etc. You can take sometimes the case study. Case study is also an important area. Case study gives the supports your write-ups with examples, which case study you have taken, and that creates more interest among the user, etc. The full content video in text format for download references. So full content related to video, etc., may be there or will be there. And if you try to give it, it will be better for everybody. And don't forget about references. If there is any references, that must be shown, that must be reflected. So the module would require that text of subject content is divided into smaller chunks for better understanding the learner. You have seen that ready-made study material. If I take the example of Indira Gandhi National Open University material, again, you will find headings are there, subheadings are there, further headings are there. So these are all nothing but the unit, module, unit, chunk, etc. we call it. That's why it is said that that a subject content is divided into smaller chunks, a smaller piece of information for better understanding of the learner. So learner can understand it properly. Just one sentence or two sentence information are given, and by going through that information, you can learn the subject, understand the subject properly. Nowadays, the Wikipedia also, if you go to the Wikipedia and you are searching anything, right side by side, automatically you have not searched, but we are getting some questions, FAQ like things. So question is there, you click it, answer is small paragraph, answer is there. You click another question, another paragraph is coming. So like that, you are clicking and number of questions are increasing. So these type of things are very important. So these are called chunks of small chunks of information for better understanding of the subject. So in self-learning material, also the type of information are available. And when you are creating the content, you must take care and must keep in the mind that a small should not be also ignored. That means technical term we call it, a smaller chunks cannot be ignored. A smaller chunks for better understanding of the subject by the learner is very important. So also put the small question and answer for the easy understanding of the user. Just like the way the Wikipedia is going. You go today and see in the Wikipedia, you will find lots of answers, lots of information related to this, and your purpose will be solved. Hence, every content needs to be divided into module, then unit, then granule. So granule is the further subdivision of the unit. Module, one subject, then one subject may have 4 or 5 units. Each units are having a small area that we call it granules. So each module, unit, and granule must be taken care of. So it is called chunking of the content. That means you are describing the text in a smaller way, in the brief way, and the ready-made, we can call it ready corner or ready reference tools. You can call that ready reference tools. Earlier, if you may be remembering that when you are not understanding the meaning of a particular word, you are looking at the dictionary. But what other thing we are doing? Either you are noting down in the book itself, or you have made an additional notebook, and in the notebook you are writing the meaning, you are writing the word, so that later on, when you are sitting idle or you just after once in a week, etc., you give a look on that, and automatically all the word meaning comes to your mind. That these are the word meaning which you are not knowing. Now you are knowing, and which you have noted down. So that type of things are very important. So that's why chunking of information is very important in the content creation, design, etc. And if you are doing so, then your this area will be complete. Then e-content development, some issues related to e-content development. And what is it? You see it here, that an essential condition for effective ICT enabled teaching and learning is that there must be access to high quality of culturally relevant content. So these are some of the criteria. We can say that an essential condition for effective ICT enabled teaching and learning is that there must be access to high quality culturally relevant content. So quality of the content should be informative, and quality of the content should be directly related and associated with the content or the subject area. You should not deviate yourself from the subject area. Focus should be given on the subject area. That is why it is mentioned that high quality culturally relevant content is to be taken care. The web can be powerful tool for educator, teachers, and others to develop and share the content that meets cultural, linguistic, and educational needs of the Indian education system. Yes, through the web, it is very much possible. It is very much easy. So if you want to create a content, etc., you go to a SWAM platform, you download the criteria information, and you can be a part of the MOOC program, and you can develop your content. And nowadays, I will show you one of the slide that nowadays you are getting points also in a personal promotion from assistant to stage 1, stage 1 to stage, stage 1 to stage 2, stage 2 to stage 3, and like that. Certain criteria are there for getting the promotion. Nowadays, this content creation dissemination is also one of the criteria. For that, the UGC has given some marks. You go to the website, you will go to it, or go to Gauhati University webpage. Recently they have published good number of posts for the assistant professor, associate professor, and professor. You download that recruitment form, direct recruitment form. In the form part B of the form, at the bottom part, you will find that information is there, whether you have created content or not, whether you have designed content or not. For that, there are the marks. There are 6 modules of that, and out of the 6 modules, you have to at least carry marks in 3 modules. If you're not carrying marks for 3 modules, then you're not eligible for the post. So out of 6 modules, 2 modules are completely related with this content creation, etc. So if you are having some content creation, you can be able to get good marks, but it should be for the authorized purpose. It should be under the SWAM platform. Then only it is going to be recorded. For YouTube, we have created some content. For other purpose, you have created content that is for your knowledge, for knowing the subject, etc. But you are not going to get the academic academic point for that purpose. So if you are creating in the SWAM platform, for that it is possible. So sharing of e-content reflects the language, culture, and resident knowledge of the community. So when you are sharing the content, language is not the problem. You can create the content in Assamese language. You can create the content in English language. You create the content in Bengali language, Hindi language, Bodo language, any language of your choice. But the target, you have to keep the target group in the mind, and audio, video presentation should be there, and it should be beautifully reflected. So language is not the barrier. So that's why sharing of e-content reflects the language, culture, and resident knowledge of the community. And in the process of developing a techno-pedagogy for new learner in the new environment, learning new things, using new technologies, the first issue to be addressed is the development of the content. So every day it is changing. So you have to take care of the pedagogy. You have to take care of in which direction we are moving, what the latest development, what latest area is required or needed. So keeping that in the mind only, you have to go for development of the content for different purpose. So further continuation of that, many corporate organizations have entered this domain, which should be totally under the control of the teachers. So there are some private agencies also, so who are taking over activities to teachers. So we should not, being a teaching community, we should not allow the private person to write the text for the college student or school student. That has to be done by the only academicians, not by the journalist, not by the person who are writing novels or storybooks, like that type of thing. It should be always taken care by the academicians, basically. That's why this point is very, very important, that many corporate organizations have entered this domain, which should be totally under the control of the teacher. I would like to cite one example here, that there are various and multiple publishing houses who are publishing, one publishing houses are publishing in different name of different publishing houses, just cheating the people in this way and other way. And they are called, I used to call that type of publishing house as the briefcase publishing house. They are having they are having only one address, and all other addresses are fixed address. They are registered for one organization, one firm, but multiple firms they are running it, and they are publishing the books written by the ghostwriter. Ghostwriter in the sense that you are a writer, but you have done nothing, and everything has been done by the publisher. He has copied one paragraph from this book, another paragraph from that book, third paragraph from other book, and continue so on. 5-6 paragraph is over, beautifully given one name, one title, and publisher name is there, ISBN number is there, everything is there, and that book is ready for use. And that books are printed, only 4 or 5 copies of this book are published, and that 4 or 5 copies are available in the hands of the one copy with the publisher, or 2 copies with the publisher, and remaining 3 or 4 copies in the hands of the author. And if you see this, you will find this information in the Flipkart e-commerce site, website like Flipkart, like Amazon. And when you place the order, you want to purchase that book, you just click it, you will find the information that book is out of stock. So that book was never published more than 5 or 6 copies, but that site shows that book are out of stock. What does that mean? Those are all the ghost writers, and those even the person are not knowing about the subject what he or she has written, and that type of practice is going on. And I will again not name out. There are many big academicians, many big personalities who have already taken promotion in the colleges and universities of the country. Not only, I'm not telling that only the state of Assam, throughout the country, and this type of things are going on in full swing. And who is giving encouragement? The people like us is giving the encouragement to that people. So those are all also content. So I want to share with you this thing, that that type of corporate organization, that type of publishers should not enter into the domain of this type of things. Here it should be only taken care by the teaching community, and for the welfare of the student, that will be a good thing for all of us. Otherwise, our this type of things will be also snatched by so-called briefcase publishing house people, or other people who only knows how to earn money, not how to disseminate the quality information. That is very important for all of us. So it is the fact that if teacher don't create e-content, either no one else can or somebody else will do. That somebody who else is related with the previous concept. That is why I am mentioning here that it is the fact that if teachers don't create e-content, either no one else can or somebody else will do. That somebody else are the so-called publishing house, so-called authors, so-called the ghost authors, you can say that, and they want only credit, they want only money, no developmental work. So those are all pirated books, those are all illegal books, you can say that, where full of plagiarism takes place, copyright protection is not there. So that these are the scenario which you have to take care. So it is our duty to publish or create the content for the welfare of the society. The task of developing e-content or knowledge packaging necessitates collaborative efforts by technologists and academics. This is very important. The task of developing content, knowledge packaging necessitates collaborative effort by the technologists and academics. It is true, and you have to do it. And all of you should know about the activities of SWAM, activity of VGC MOOCs. Then you will become the efficient person, you will become the master how the content creation is done, how the content is made, etc. So it is there that the teacher with clarity in content and depth in pedagogy assumes a pivotal role in creating the right instructional design and in creating appropriate content in effective manner. So it depends upon the quality of the teacher, it depends upon the depth in knowledge of the teacher, and knows about the subject, knows about the technique. So then only this type of thing can be done. So if you go to this SWAM platform, there are certain guidelines. Go there, see the guidelines, and if your profile is fitting into that guideline, you start the activity from today, and you will be getting some revenue for that also. But there are certain rules and terms and techniques are there, rules and regulations are there. You have to first fulfill all the rules and regulations, and then up to 13.5 lakhs of rupees can be given by the UGC for creation of the content, designing the content in the digital form and electronic form, and which everybody can and anybody can do it. Only your intention should be bright. your intentions, attitude should be good, then only it is possible. If you will work with negative attitude, negative intention, then nothing will happen in the coming days. So,
sir, actually, time is over. So you have another one part is there, no, sir. You can
just let me finish this. Then
okay, sir.
Next class. Okay.
Yes.
Quickly, I will finish it. Many things I have already told. At 5 minutes, I will take. Okay.
Yes. Okay, sir.
Okay. So knowledge packaging has always been there. So I've already talked in the beginning of my lecture itself that Gurukul grammar school days, etc. So nowadays we are converting those things in the digital and printed form, and is available. You see the nursery rhymes you have studied in your school days. If you remember it, nowadays this audio cassettes and video audio CDs and video CDs are available. Nowadays it is available in the microchips, so you can download from the different sources also. So need of this digital convergence. It is very important. Digital convergence from the traditional to the electronic form is very important and very interesting. So these are very time of the hour, you can say that. That's why the heritage need of the digital convergence of this form is imperative to provide quality education to greater quantities of learners for the simple reasons that the research and researches of Econtent is high. Then the features of Econtent, namely the bisensory learning, experience, digital convergence of text, image, audio, video, animation, etc., create the effect of multimedia accessibility, reusability, interpretability, etc., are the supporting points in the favor of the claim to give top priority of e-content development among the academic endeavors. And these are all very important. And just let me see, that I will take on later on. This last slide, let me discuss today. UGC consortium, that is under this SWAM, etc. As I'm talking about MOOCs and SWAM, etc. So the UGC consortium for educational communication, we call CEC, is providing training or higher education teachers in the art and science of the e-content, and now it is open for every subject. You go and see it. That's why just a few minutes back I was talking about the SWAM platform, etc. The need of the hour is a policy decision to train the teacher, educator, and personnel of other teacher development agencies in other country as a trainer in the e-content development, who in turn would carry the message and continue the mission of providing e-content development training to scores of teachers across the nation. The question of creating the necessary infrastructure comes up. I will talk this thing, infrastructure, etc., in the next class. And next class, I will talk on the phases of e-content and other things. And I will try to show you some live demo also about the e-content. I will try to give you some information related to SWAM and MOOCs also. So as time is already up, so if any question is there, next day we'll discuss everything. Next day I will try to complete quickly, because see, the area is very interesting and it is the need of the hour, which this organizer has chosen this topic. So this, if there is any question, 1 or 2 questions I can take, or I can just write up the question, and next class I shall take up all those things, because as you have mentioned, Body has mentioned that another teacher is waiting for the class. So thank you very much to all of you. I am stopping the presentation now, and whatever questions you may ask, or you can write up for the next class, so that I can discuss it next class, or you can write to my email also. I can answer through my mail also. And I hope that whatever I have talked, they're all theoretical. In next class, I will try to show you some practical also, or this online demo also, and that will be really useful for all of you. So thank you very much to the organizer as well as all the participants.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So, a very nice, elaborate presentation. So, I hope next time I will meet again on 4th of July for your practical demonstration. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, I took extra time. Yeah, I took extra time because I was
it's okay, sir.
Half an hour is for some discussion or something like that, activities, etc. So I have not given any activities, so let me utilize the time. That is keeping in the mind I was talking like that. Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much, sir. So next class will be at 2 p.m. on topic is our open educational resources in higher education. It will be given by Dr. Dipen Deka. Thank you very much. So we shall meet at 2 p.m. shortly. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.